for the 5th fight, and we are scheduled for an ABF welterweight title fight, scheduled for 10 rounds. The Philippines will be taking on Thailand. That is the bell for round number 1. And in the red corner, Mr. Ador Torres with the black trunks takes on Wanphichit in the blue corner, with also the black trunks with the white trim. And Wanphichit already complaining that there might be in a clash of heads. Wanphichit has got one of the largest scoring sections in this arena, people shouting his name. We are likely going to see head clashes when you see an orthodox against a southpaw. It's very awkward footwork from both of these fighters, very common to happen. Ador attempts a nice right hand with a left, and Wanphichit throws a left hand of his own, and he fires a body shot as well as he gives the eyebrows to Mr. Ador Torres. And Wanphichit definitely has the home advantage. Every shot he lands, the audience are going wild. Even when it doesn't land, they're going wild too. A nice jab by Ador Torres. Both fighters still very calm in this first round, not trying to show too much of their hand early on. Wanphichit throws a big looping right hand. Ador Torres staying very calm, holds the center of the ring, and Wanphichit throws a 7-jab combination, trying to trick Ador Torres, but Ador Torres was so wise to that move, he did not react as he throws a body shot of his own and eats a right hand from Wanphichit. Wanphichit needs to be very careful not to walk into that left hand of Ador Torres. Both fighters again in the center of the ring. Ador Torres just using that measuring jab, trying to find out where his opponent is before he sets up that big left hand, as we saw there, and a nice right hand on the side of the head, and a nice combination landed by Ador Torres, and he allows his opponent to get a reset, and a right hand downstairs by Wanphichit, which almost stumbles Ador Torres, and Ador needs to be very careful and give some respect to Wanphichit, because Wanphichit is digging deep and trying to set his opponent up for a big right hand downstairs. Ador Torres with his back against the ropes looks very calm in there as he flicks out the jab. Ador Torres, I would like to see him be a little bit more active with that jab, keeping the range and trying to time Wanphichit's attack, because Ador Torres definitely has the range and the footwork, but Wanphichit is just looking for that charging action, trying to blitz his opponent. A nice first round by both of these fighters as they bump shoulders. A little bit of drama in between as we go to an action replay. And we saw both fighters in the clinch, and it was that cheeky left hand upstairs, landed by the Thai man. And there it is again, and it was a very nicely timed clinch as he threw that looping right hand over the top. A very nice round by both of these fighters for the ABF welterweight title. I'd like to see Ador Torres be a little bit more active with that jab and just try and time Wanphichit's onslaught, because it looks like Wanphichit knows he's the smaller, explosive fighter, and the only chance he has is blitzing his opponent. Ador Torres just needs to be wise to the blitz, step back and throw an uppercut. That is the bell for round number 2. Philippines takes on Thailand. Ador Torres in the red takes on Wanphichit in the blue. And Ador Torres takes the fight to his opponent early on, flicking that jab out as he goes downstairs and upstairs. And a nice left hand by Wanphichit. And Wanphichit throwing haymaker after haymaker. And Ador Torres has had enough and fires back of his own. Right hand upstairs by Wanphichit, and a right uppercut as well between the guards. And Ador Torres has got to realize up close and personal is at his disadvantage. He needs to just use his range. Ador Torres has no reason to take these shots on the gloves.
หมัดขวาสวยครับโอ้โหโดนนะครับวันพิชิต
Both fighters claiming that it was a low blow.
ชนกันนะครับมวยซ้ายกับขวา
Ador Torres flicks out that jab. Ador Torres just needs to be a little bit more active. Keep flicking that jab out and then trying to set up that big left hand down the middle. Ador now uses a nice move of dragging the guard down of Wanphichit to throw a left hand upstairs. And Ador Torres needs to be careful because, like I said, Wanphichit is trying to put his opponent away in every shot he throws. A nice 1-2 landed by Ador Torres. And Ador, very calm, very wise, not getting involved in the antics of Wanphichit. Wanphichit wants to make this a slugfest, and Ador Torres wants to keep this a boxing match. Ador Torres now dancing around. I remember when you're a southpaw against an orthodox, you're trying to fight for the lead leg of your opponent. You're trying to get your lead leg on the outside of theirs because it allows you to throw a powerful punch down the middle. You're trying to get on the inside of your opponent with your lead leg. And a nice double jab landed by Ador Torres. Wanphichit very dangerous inside the pocket, and Ador Torres definitely not afraid to fight fire with fire. Ador Torres firing shots, hitting the guard of his opponent, and that's a good move. Rather than waiting for an opening, create your opening. He's winging shots for the fences. 10 seconds to go of round number 2. Ador Torres pushes his opponent off. Fin in that right hand upstairs. And that is the end of round number 2 for this ABF welterweight title fight scheduled for 10. And here we see that action replay. And as we saw, the man from Thailand, every shot he is throwing, he is digging down deep and trying to put Torres away, but it's not enough. Again, I would like to see Ador Torres use his footwork and use his range and dance around the ring just a little bit more. There's no reason to fight fire with fire. He needs to just dance around, use that jab, and then throw that big left hand down the middle once he's got his footwork in place. Wanphichit, I think he's doing a good job of what he's capable of doing, which is turning this fight into a slugfest. He is very powerful with his hands. He is not scared to get involved. That is the bell for round number 3. Thailand takes on the Philippines. Ador Torres in the red corner takes on Wanphichit in the blue corner from Thailand. And a nice double jab followed up by a left hand downstairs by Ador Torres. And Ador now with a better combination and a better read on the situation, doubling that jab followed up by a left hand. Basic boxing will win this fight for Ador Torres. He just needs to stick to a game plan. Throw the basic combinations, double jab, backhand, single jab, backhand. Wanphichit throws a big hand upstairs and the crowd go wild once again. A jab misses and a right hand downstairs by Wanphichit, but it's not enough in my eyes for Wanphichit to actually be winning this fight. Ador Torres flicks that jab out, extending his body to the fullest. A nice jab by Wanphichit as well. I'd like to see a little bit more activity. Ador Torres needs to throw those feints in there like he did in the first round. The sweat comes flying into the audience. A nice left hand downstairs by Ador Torres.
ดูกันยาวๆนะครับคู่นี้ชกกันทั้งหมด
Ador Torres throws a left hand upstairs as well.
1-2 ไปนะครับ
A much better combination and activity. Ador Torres now holds center of the ring and flicks that jab up and evades the damage of Wanphichit. And exactly what Ador Torres needs to do.
จับจังหวะได้นี่น่ากลัวครับวันพิชิตนี่เหวี่ยงมาเนี่ย
Ador Torres
จะหลบได้
throwing that jab out a lot more confidently now. Exactly what he needs to do. Find the range and set up that left hand. Ador Torres
ต่อยลำตัวเข้าไป
just dancing around with a jab. He's got to be very careful he doesn't get lazy with the jab, because Wanphichit will read into it and throw a big left hand upstairs.
แหม่เหวี่ยงซ้ายปลายขวาแล้วครับ
And I like that Wanphichit went for something
เข้า
there.
มาต่อยลำตัว
It looks like he's starting to tire, but he's still dangerous in the pocket.
นี่ครับยืนบล็อกครับคอยโต้คอยสวน
Wanphichit now got his opponent on the ropes.
สายตาดีครับ
He holds the head of Ador Torres to throw a big right hand of his own.
ดูครับแม่หมัดแจ็บขวาครับเริ่มจะ
And a nice left hand by Ador Torres, almost stopping Wanphichit in his tracks. And Ador Torres has been accurate with this piston of a jab, constantly flicking it out, exactly what he needs to do. 10 seconds of round number 3.
โอ้โหต่อยซ้ายลำตัวเต็มๆ
Ador Torres
ลำตัวครับ
boxing beautifully, jabbing perfectly
Ador Torres ที่รอ
as he swings for the fences. A much better round for the man from the Philippines, Mr. Ador Torres. We're going to see some action replays. And there was that nice right hand downstairs by the man from Thailand. But it was Ador Torres' 1-2 combination which landed clean. Ador Torres must have landed about 35 jabs in that round. Exactly what he needs to do. Flick that jab until you find the opening, and then send that left hand downstairs or upstairs. A very nice round by Ador Torres, and we got some guest speakers. Very nicely done by Ador Torres. Wanphichit is still in this fight, but he needs to make it a dogfight now. He needs to get up close and personal of Ador Torres. Once he gets him on the ropes, that's when he needs to become an animal in that ring and just give it everything he's got. And that is the bell for round number 4 of this ABF Welterweight title fight, scheduled for 10 rounds. Thailand takes on the Philippines. Ador Torres again dancing around with that nice jab, flicking out combinations. Wanphichit needs to be careful because the referee will be looking very carefully if he keeps eating jabs.
ลูกไหล่เข้าใส่นะครับหมัดซ้ายไปครับวันพิชิต
Ador Torres with a nice combination, and he needs to do something because this referee is looking very closely here. Wanphichit now needs to come alive, and a beautiful right hand downstairs.
โอ้เหวี่ยงขวาไม่โดนโอ้ต่อยลม
Very similar to Rocky Balboa against Apollo Creed.
ครับวันพิชิต
But Wanphichit needs to do something if he wants this referee to keep him in this fight, because Ador Torres is just flicking that jab out, and he is accurate with the jab. Although the crowd are going wild at these body shots, they are hitting the guard of Ador Torres, and I don't think they're doing enough.
ปล่อยให้วันพิชิตต่อยก่อนหมุนออกมาแล้ว
Ador Torres now has Wanphichit where he wants him. He needs to just keep bullying Wanphichit right now, just constantly throwing combinations.
เหวี่ยงหมัดซ้ายเข้าไป
Ador needs to just be active and keep those straight punches coming. Even if Ador is hitting the guard of Wanphichit, it's gonna look good on the judges' scorecards. His accuracy and his activity has been very nice in these later rounds.
อัปเปอร์คัตขวาอาศัยจังหวะแล้วครับAdor Torresครับวนซ้ายทีขวาที
Wanphichit leaning on his opponent,
ไม่ยอมให้ก่อน
and I'm not sure this is enough because Ador Torres does a very good job of staying calm under pressure. And as we can see, he's landing combinations. The referee looking for a reason to now step in, I believe, because Wanphichit, although dangerous, isn't doing anything to defend himself against these shots. Do not give the referee a reason, and like I said, you should not give the ref a reason to stop the fight. Ador Torres, beautiful, beautiful combinations, beautiful jabs, and he represented the Highland Boxing Gym very well in that fight, constantly flicking the jab and creating a combination for himself.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in round number 4, 2 minutes and 14 seconds into the round, your fighter in the blue corner was unable to continue. Your winner and new ABF Welterweight Champion goes to your fighter in the red corner, Ador